Chinedu had always been the kind of man who believed that if you worked hard enough, everything you wanted would eventually come. Day after day, he left a small one-room apartment in Surulere at the crack of dawn, squeezing into the yellow buses that rattled and roared their way across Lagos. He worked long hours as a clerk in a logistics company, taking home just enough to cover rent, transport, and the little meals he allowed himself. Yet, every time his salary entered his account, it seemed to vanish like smoke. Bills, debts, obligations, they devoured it before his hands could even close around it. He often wondered, was this all I've had to offer? To work until my bones are tired, yet never truly be free? One evening, as he walked back from work, he saw something that planted a seed in his mind. At the corner of his street, a young boy barely out of his teens was operating a POS stand. People lined up, handing over their ATM cards, withdrawing cash, paying bills. By the time Chinedu bought a sachet of water, he noticed the boy counting neat bundles of Naira notes. In less than an hour, the boy had probably made what Chinedu earned in a whole day. That night, Chinedu couldn't sleep. The thought kept turning in his head. This boy has made money work for him. While people hustle, money flows into his hands. What if I could do the same? The next month, instead of buying new clothes during salary week, Chinedu made a decision. He denied himself comfort, put aside a small portion of his pay, and added it to the little savings he had. Slowly, after a few months of sacrifice, he bought a second-hand generator and a simple wooden kiosk. With the help of his cousin, he started his own POS stand at the busy junction near his house. At first, he ran the stand himself after work and on weekends. It was exhausting. He would sit under the scorching sun, managing customers, smiling even when he was tired. But soon, the money spoke louder than fatigue. Within 3 months, the kiosk was generating enough that he could hire a trusted neighbor to run it during the day, while he focused on his office job. For the first time in his life, Chinedu was earning while he slept, while he worked elsewhere, while he rested. But he didn't stop there. He asked himself again, how else can I make money work for me? He looked at his surroundings and realized many people in his area always struggle with grinding pepper and tomatoes. So, he saved a little more and bought a small grinding machine. He set it up beside his POS kiosk, and soon women from the community were bringing bowls of pepper, tomatoes, and beans to grind. It became another steady stream of income, flowing whether or not Chinedu was present. As the years rolled by, he expanded carefully. He bought a piece of land on the outskirts of Lagos. Nothing big, just a small plot people ignored. Instead of leaving it empty, he leased it out to a farmer to plant vegetables, collecting rent every season. Later, he bought a second-hand tricycle, Kiki, and rented it to a driver, collecting returns at the end of each week. Bit by bit, Chinedu began to see a pattern. His sweat no longer vanished. It multiplied. One Sunday afternoon, sitting with his childhood friend Emeka, who was still working hand-to-mouth an office job, Chinedu shared his secret. Emeka, you see, if you only work for money, you'll never escape the trap. But if you make your money start working for you, even in small ways, you'll finally breathe. Emeka laughed at first. So you're saying I should leave my job and start chasing kiosks? Chinedu shook his head. Not at all. I'm saying use your job to fuel your freedom. Your salary is the seed. But if you eat all your seeds, you'll have nothing to plant. Start with something small, anything that can grow even while you sleep. Over time, Chinedu's life transformed. He no longer feared the end of the month. He no longer panicked about emergencies. The money that once disappeared like smoke now flowed like a river, from his POS, his grinder, his leased land, his tricycle. Each stream added to the other, until he built a foundation strong enough to carry dreams bigger than himself. And one day, as he stood watching his neighbor's child operate the kiosk he once sat at, Chinedu smiled. He realized the truth of his journey. Wealth wasn't about greed or chasing after quick riches. It was about discipline, patience, and vision. He remembered the boy he once saw at the street corner, the one who unknowingly inspired him. And he thought, this is how it begins. One small step, one small seed. And suddenly, you're no longer the one chasing money. Money is chasing you. The story of Chinedu reminds us that true wealth is not in how much money you chase, but in how wisely you use what you already have. When you learn to make money work for you, through patience, strategy, and discipline, you create freedom, not just income. That's the real difference between living paycheck to paycheck and building a future that outlives you. If this story inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button. Share it with someone who needs a spark of motivation today. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss more powerful stories like this. Together, let's build a community of dreamers and doers who turn possibilities into reality.